What's up guys, Specstar here today with Shadow for my week 3 battle of ODL. I'm going up against the Doctor, and let's see our matchup. So we see the Sneasel, and that's interesting. Drop PU2, Gliscor comes, of course Magearna comes. It looks pretty promising for Nihilego. I need a little bit of chip on Gliscor or 2 plots with Mew, and a little bit of chip on Magearna never hurt nobody. So I would think you would either want to lead off with Main or Garchomp, and my Virizion covers both of those. It does also cover this Gliscor right here. We see that Suicune didn't come, and that's interesting. Here, I think I'm free to click Hidden Power Ice, because if I go into my Muck, or if he goes into his Magearna, I can go into my Muck for free on that. And I'm going to just spend a little bit of time here, so he thinks that I'm looking for my switch out. And I'm going to click HP Ice now. So I'm going to look at my team here. I'm just going to do a quick overview. If you want to know why I brought what I brought, I encourage you to look at my team builder, which should be out before this video, of course. I've got a Choice Banded Genesect with Ice Beam, a Calm Mind Specially Defensive Slowbro, a Nasty Pass Mew, a Nihilego built to get a speed boost that's built to catch the Nasty Plot from Mew, an Alolan Muck, which is specially defensive for Magearna, and a Choice Specs for Virizion. So he's going to be doing some thinking about his turn, so I might as well start getting a calc up. And I can just get the importable ready for this. I might as well start preparing this if I'm going to be waiting. I can get my Virizion set up in here. No matter what I hit, I should be able to get some sort of intel. And we're just going to one-shot the Gliscor right from the get-go. That's a beautiful turn if I've ever seen one. And that's just a fantastic way to start this battle. He was probably assuming I was some sort of Sword Stance set, but I wanted to run a special attacking Virizion so I didn't have to play around with catching Scald Burns from Suicune. This set was built to come in on Suicune all day, which it can do with the Specs Grass Knot. He does have a real hard time switching in on this Pokemon, and losing his only real Focus Blast switch-in did not help him, so Virizion's going to be a Pokemon to watch in this game. Could see him going to Sneasel or Darmanitan here. I would think Darmanitan would be the most likely thing he goes out into. Did I finish looking over the whole team? Yeah, I think I did. So we'll see what he does next. Looking at the matchup right now, Gliscor dropping makes things even easier for Nihilego, which is beautiful because it was a roll in his favor to survive if he was physically defensive, and I was at +2 with Power Gem. So we see Sneasel come out, and that's going to be a little bit annoying for us to deal with. Let me see how much a knockoff from that thing does to Slowbro, because I don't want Muck to lose its item at all. I wasn't actually thinking that Sneasel would be very likely bring with me having Buzzwole and Buzzwole having a good matchup here, but it does come, and that's a nuisance to me. I don't think he would knock off here. I'm going to go hard into Slowbro. Okay, so that's band damage. He's Choice Banded. We know that now. So here he'd probably hard switch out into either Magearna or more likely Manectric. And for that, I think I want to click Calm Mind right now. Is that what I want to do? No, I'm gonna go Muck. I'm pretty free to go Muck. It's just because this Slowbro can't sweep while this Sneasel is around. So I should probably try and take this turn to get some pressure on. If I do Calm Mind, this set is able to 1v1 a Timid Mega Manectric, which it should be because I have a Tornadus. If he didn't have it faster than Tornadus, I would be able to win by nasty passing into Tornadus. And again, he's putting a lot of thought into his turn here. I think you would definitely go into one of these two. There isn't really anything else he could try to switch in on Slowbro, so I'm not really sure what the delay here is. We do see him go on Magearna, and my Muck here is going to be specifically designed to take on that thing, and I could either go for knockoff predicting a switch or just a fire punch attacking what's in front of me. I think I want to go for knockoff just because I'm not really worried about this thing with my Muck. Worst case scenario, it could be some sort of dual dance set. That would be the one scenario where this is a little for me. But I think my best play here is just to click knockoff. That would be able to catch Garchomp if he goes out into it. And that's probably the closest thing he has to a Muck switch in. If he goes into Sneasel, I knock off its item and it cannot 2-hit KO my Slowbro. So that Darmanitan is going to come in and it is going to take a ton. We'll probably see a U-turn here, but I'm just going to go out of my Slowbro regardless. It goes for an Earthquake, and I'm going to make an aggressive play here in a Genesect. Actually, what am I thinking? I don't think I do want to make that play right now. For a second, I was assuming that he knew that my Slowbro didn't touch his Sneasel, but of course he doesn't know that. That was a little bit of a brain fart on my behalf, and I have to apologize for that. He's probably going to go out into his Manectric here, so what I could do is I could just go ahead and click a Psyshock. He shows okay, he shows the U-turn. That's in, yep. That's not surprising. Taking the damage on Slowbro is annoying. And we probably definitely will see Main come out here. If he goes into Sneasel, which I think is somewhat of a possibility, I was thinking about U-turn into potentially a Pursuit. If he does go into Sneasel, I'm going to predict the Pursuit, and I'm going to try to slack off. I think that's my play in that scenario. We see Manectric come out, and the damage on this is good for us. Now, I can go out into my Muck here, and should be alright. He doesn't Volt Switch, he just goes for the Thunderbolt. Here I'm going to click Gunk Shot because if Darm comes in, I want to make sure I score the knockout on that. We could just well see him go out in a Chomp. In fact, that makes a lot of sense. He goes out in a Magearna. That gives me a Recycle. Magearna shouldn't be able to break this. It would have to be a Calm Mind variant to do so. And that would be an interesting bring in this matchup. Especially with me having Heatran, which didn't come. That's probably not how you try to beat it. I would have to imagine it would be some sort of shift gear variant with potentially the pummeling or maybe even an assault vest volt switch set. Based on the matchup, that's what I think he would be. If he is that, he's not at all able to break this. You can always try to see him try to go out into chomp. Very real possibility. You could also see it throw off a volt switch here. I just want to get my berry up so I keep my Magirna check healthy. He's really thinking about this turn. One of the reasons why he might be hesitant to bring Chomp out on a Muck is he knows it has Ice Punch, and he knows if he watched my builder thing from last week that I was strongly considering running Ice Punch on Muck to hit Landorus. So it's always something to be careful of when you're in his position. He's going to go for the shift gear, so he'd have to be dual dance to beat us. So I think I'm just going to throw out my Fire Punch. Maybe he could if he was Iron Head. I'm just going to start throwing off Fire Punches. It'll be interesting to see what he has on this that he thinks can hit Muck. Because again, Muck is my designated answer to this. The Intimidate drop is going to be a little bit annoying, but we should be able to whittle it down bit by bit. What's up, Chihuahua? Chihuahua's just doing his thing while I'm doing the battles. He probably thinks I'm weird because I'm always talking to my computer, but he's pretty weird himself. He gets his poop stuck in his butt that's pretty weird. So he goes for a Twinkle Tackle, and we're just gonna eat that up. I imagine that would be a Fleur Cannon. I'm just gonna recycle regardless. He misses his Fleur Cannon, unfortunately, but he wouldn't have been able to beat us regardless, so really it's not the biggest of deals. He goes into Chomp, and is that Sandvale? It's a Sandvale, Sean. Okay. I'm going to go hard into Virizion. I think that's my smartest play. I'm going to take that Earthquake, and I'm going to throw off a Focus Blast because it's just the move that hits everything on his team. He goes down to Sneasel, and we do land it. Sneasel goes down. That was the thing that we could not comfortably wall with this team. So we'll see Darm come out trying to bank on us missing Focus Blast, which isn't the dumbest thing because Focus Blast does miss 100% of the time. I still want Virizion alive. I'm going to go out into Mew. It makes Chomp easier to deal with. So we'll see what his initial answer is to Mew. I don't know that he really has a great answer to Mew. I think maybe if Chomp Sword Stance, that's something, but he'd probably have to fear Ice Beam on this. I went with the Psyshock variant because I wanted to make sure that Mew could 1v1 Suicune. That was the priority of mine. Depending on what he goes out into, I'll have to think about either potentially setting up or maybe just trying to get a slow baton pass off into something. We'll see what he does here. What do you know, though? Having to land a Focus Blast and landing it? Has that ever happened before? I'm not sure if it has. But Virizion coming up clutch there. And in fact, just clutch in this matchup, it's got both my KOs so far, and it's looking ripe to claim another, frankly. I imagine he wants Sneasel, expecting me to just HP Ice again, but his switch out was very obvious, so I just went for the move that hit all 5 of his Pokemon. Even if he left Chomp in, it was going to take a ton from Focus Blast and put in range of Extreme Speed, which is very nice. He's thinking about what he wants to do here. He's probably calcing the damage too to try to figure out what kind of Mew I am. He has a main neck trick and I just want to roost. I don't really have a reason not to. He shouldn't be able to do it KO us. So I can start thinking about setting up my nasty plots now. Because that main will not be able to do it KO us. And if I can pass this to Nihilego, that's looking like game over. Again, he's thinking. I guess he's not just wanting to click Thunderbolt or Volt Switch here. I'm really curious about what the Chomp is. He's been playing it like it's not a Swords Dance set. It would really have to be Swords Dance to do anything against us, or maybe some sort of Life Orb mixed attacking, but that doesn't really help him out with Mew, more so kind of just help him deal with a bulky team that includes Slowbro. We'll see what he goes into now and if it's an answer to the Mew. I'm going to calc a Scarf Darmanitan to Mew, see if Flare Blitz can KO us, which I don't think it can, and it can't, which is fantastic. So I should be able to get a pass off. And if he goes into Darm and I do pass to Nihilego, I think that's game over. Okay, so he goes into Magearna. That's interesting. Based on his set, I don't think he beats us. I'm going to click Roost. We do see that we're faster than it. He goes for Flare Cannon, so now we 100% wall the crap out of it, and we're definitely free to set up another nasty plot and try to... Well, do we need another nasty plot? I might just start looking at trying to pass. I'm going to Roost, and then probably the next move I'm going to click is probably going to be the... Unless he goes in a Garchomp, then the next move I click is probably going to be Baton Pass. So he goes in a Darmanitan here, and now I'm going to click it. If he goes for the Flare Blitz, then I think the game is over. Of course, there are some other variables, but yeah, I think that's going to be a GG right here. As I get to go into my Nihilego, and now I think I just want to click my Power Gem. Like that. Yeah, we're going to get our speed boost now, and then even if it's Scarf Garchomp, we're going to be faster than it, and we're going to be able to KO it with Dazzling Gleam unless he's got the Rosalie Berry. And he doesn't, so we're going to get our speed boost, and that's looking like GG. GG, my friend. This tactic, I'm convinced that passing Nasty Plot to Nihilego is just completely busted. And so far, so good for it. It really is looking like it potentially is. It did exactly what it was intended to this game. This is why Mew is so good when Baton Pass is allowed. And with this, we're going to move on to 3-0 and I believe plus 16 differential. So we're going to have a real hot start to the season. And I'm going to catch you guys when I do my next battle here. I want to thank you guys for watching. Have yourselves a good night.